Hello everyone, I am back again. I am working on my little 100 days project. You saw page 30 and 31, so I'm starting this one, the 32 and 33. So I'm starting with choosing my papers, and you saw that little stash that I had collected previously before I started the 100 days project, but I have to admit there are not many nice little pictures or something that I like to use. So I told you before, I grabbed a few of the images out of a box, and but I should have sorted them first in what I was going to use. So I've got this box is filled with tissue papers and napkins from Jane Davenport that I like. And now I collected a few of them, and then I'm deciding on where to place them. And as I said before, this is a project with a few supplies and a few papers and a few colors. Well, my goal was to not overthink this process. That's why I choose small pieces of paper to work on and then glue them in my little book. So this is tissue paper, and I colored it with Ecoline, just Ecoline out of the bottles, and just a little bit of water. I soaked them quite well and then let them dry. Some of them I crumbled, and you get these nice patterns, and I got a whole bunch of them. And I might do, if you like, tell me if you like, um, how do you call that? A tour of my workspace, my craft room, whatever you like. And I'm going to show you what I've got and how I sort things and keep things the way I like, and I can find them easily, because I said it more often, if I don't see my stuff, then I tend to not use it enough, and that's just a shame because it costs a lot of money, and well, I want to use it, let's say it that way. Okay, anyway, rambling, and now I'm deciding on what to put where, and I wanted to use that little mermaid that you see, who has lost her tail, but I thought about just drawing it on later, but I decided on just to use the words on that little piece of napkin that came from the same napkin, I think. And just using a gloss gel medium from Golden. It's not glosses. Yeah, it's gloss, yes. And then I'll put this down. Magic is something that you make. And I like tissue paper because the first layer that you did shines through. Then I thought it was way too colorful, so I'm trying to tone it down just a little bit with gesso. This is a very thin gesso. I wrote it down on the bottle because if I squeeze a bottle, it will ooze out very quickly. And not only my work surface will be covered with gesso. So drying it, of course, I dried the layers in between. And now I'm using this. This is a scalloped kind of a stencil that I like. It's from Tim Holtz, as you can see. It comes in a pack of 3, very easy. And you know, I work small, so this is just good for me. I do have large stencils, but I don't. I rarely use them. So, well, putting some quinacridone magenta through it, and I didn't like it at all, so I tossed it away, as you can see. So I started my second one, but it will be back because I never give up. So I am working with this one again because I had some quinacridone magenta left. I am using a little sponge to dab it through this really lovely stencil. Just a little bit, and if you use a bit more of the same color paint, you get two-tone, so it just works fine by me. Okay, just a little bit of drying in between. I got some of these book papers left on my desk. I thought I might use it, and then I thought about a technique that I saw on YouTube. I'm sorry, I don't know who demonstrated this, but I saved it in my head, and I thought about it just now. So I'm just using a glue stick to put some glue here and there, and then just put a layer of book paper on it and let it dry. I'm not heat setting it. I'm just going to let it dry uh, overnight. No, not overnight. Just let it dry by itself. That's what I want to say. So, and then my second project is this little tiny itty bitty piece of paper. It's just a bit larger than 2.5 centimeters. Okay, it's a bit larger than an inch, so about 3 centimeters by 2, I think, 2.5 maybe. So just putting a little piece of book paper on it, and then I still have that tissue paper that I colored myself. It's just done with paints, black paints and white, and then I created something with stamps and with stencils, all kinds of marks on just a piece of tissue paper, and I use that on different kinds of projects. It's way easy to make, and it costs you nearly nothing because most of us have tissue paper lying around somewhere. So I've got this gold foil. It's from a candy. It's a candy wrapper, so never throw anything away. And I think this is from chocolate. I think it's a chocolate wrapper, and I like using gold on projects. So just a few bits and pieces that what you see on top is a piece of tea bag with the thread still on it, and I'm using that to cover the paper just a little bit. Love that gold piece of paper on my tiny project. This is going to be very simple because what can you do on such a small piece of paper? But it really doesn't matter. I find that when I work small, then it takes not a lot of time, but it keeps my mind occupied for a while. And well, done, already done, I think. So I'm just going to do a few bits and pieces on that piece here. Again, this is just some scribble with my pencil. This is an aquarelle watercolor pencil. That's better. Watercolor pencil. I think it's from Faber-Castell, and I'm just loosely holding it in my hand and then just scribble a little bit on my piece of paper. And I like it because it gives a little bit more interest, a few marks, and if you like, you can just use a water brush to go over it and make it a little bit more, even more interesting. So now you see, I left it in because this thinking process is way too difficult sometimes. I keep grabbing papers and overthinking what to do, and do I need to do more or less? Is it interesting enough? And I just needed to stop. So don't know what I did. I think I zoomed out. Now you can see how messy my desk gets. It's quite clean before I start this whole process, but within now we are 8.5 minutes in. I did cut some of the footage out, so this video was, I taped 30 minutes in total, so I think in 10 minutes it was a big mess already. But really, I don't mind. Oh, here I thought about, well, I'm just going to use a water brush, and then, oh no, I'm not going to use a water brush. So, and this is, I do use a water brush, so that's how it goes all the time. And you saw that I just put a little bit of charcoal on my piece of paper, and then I go over it with that water brush, and then I just flick it a little bit to get some splatters. And then it's done, I think. So I'm just going to show you, trying to show you. Look, very interesting already, I think. But then it needed just a word or something. So I just took some papers out with, it's from a large letter book for people who can't see very well. So I just cut out the word open, and it just makes it. I don't know why I use that word. It's just something that I found suitable for this little tiny piece of paper. So just going around it with my, I think that was a Derwent Inktense pencil in black. If you think about buying something to color with, to make black lines with, I really recommend the Derwent Inktense black. If you sharpen the point, you can make very thin marks, but you can make very thick marks as well. I really like it, and it goes almost on top of anything, so really like that. And just a charcoal pencil as well, that works very well. So this is it, just thinking that I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, showed enough. So back to that piece of paper where I glued the book paper on top of. And now I'm just going to, everywhere on that card where there is no glue, the paper will come off quite easily. And where there was glue, it will stick and it will not come off. So I need to find the spots where I didn't put any glue. Just using my scissors to wiggle myself underneath that paper and then just rip it off. And then you get a very nice textured background, I think. Looks quite nice. So I'm just taking off all the pieces of paper where there's no glue, and then I'm going to work with that. I think that's a nice way to create interest on your background. So getting back into my little box of papers and searching for, I need to finish that one as well, searching for some interesting images to use, and I found quite quickly that butterfly that you see there, and I thought the colors matched the colors that I use on my card. So I'm getting out these pieces of, I think it's a measure or something. Yeah, well, I'm not going to go into, I think I bought it on AliExpress, sorry. I think a bunch of vintage papers that I bought, and I really like them. They are quite thin. Some were sticky with a sticky back, and some were not. So I'm just collaging. I like to collage with bits and pieces. So just a few of the pieces, just trying to match them with each other. So you need to tell me what you think about not speeding up my videos and just leave them in this pace, or how do you call it, just this speed. If you like it a bit more sped up, then just leave me a comment. I'm just trying out a few new settings, and I'm trying out a few new ways to do the voiceover. So the first video was a bit toned down or sounded quite hollow. I hope this is better. We're trying out a few settings, as I said, so I hope that this will work out. We bought a new laptop with a bit more a bit more juice. I don't know how I call it in English, but anyway, well, that's the way I'm doing it now. So if you have a comment on the speed or the voiceover, just let me know. Just putting some papers on that little piece just to create a bit more interest for my card. And then we're almost done. So I fussy cutted the butterfly with my scissor, and now everything is done, and I'm overthinking what to do. Of course, use a blue or a black pencil. So this is my little basket with charcoal, with my pencils, with my watercolor pencils, my erasers, everything that has to do with drawing. I don't draw, but everything that I need for this art journaling or mixed media. So I think I've got my little stump of charcoal in my hand. Yes, I do. And that's what I said earlier in this video. Charcoal works well with water as well. It just smears a little bit, so you can use a fixative to make sure it doesn't um, get on your other pages, but I don't mind, so I'm not I'm not using fixative to make sure that doesn't happen. But if you like, you can, of course you can. So a little bit of a brush, and then I'm already done. So I'm just showing you the two pieces that we did today, and the other one, I thought I did that one as well, but I didn't. So using a word, this says verwonder. That's a Dutch word that means be amazed by things and little things and people and everything. So I hope you like this video, and I say bye bye until the next one.